Welcome back to the Player's Edge, everybody. Tonight we're down a man, 22-1. Tom couldn't make it today, as he said. Life comes up sometimes, but in his place, we have a man that does not need an introduction. 7-time Breeders' Cup champion, 2-time Eclipse Award winner, Julien Leparoux. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. As usual, well, not as usual. Like I said, we're down a man. We have Swiss Army Shawn and Terry Hollywood. Hey, Terry, has been a long time since I talked to you. Just a few hours, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing really great. Hey, I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions, Julien.
Yep.
I was wondering, is there a difference between riding the Kentucky Downs and other tracks for you?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. It's a totally different track. Obviously, the up here and then down here, the big white turn and the long straight. So you got to make sure you keep some horses for the end. That's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thanks for that. And then another one, if you don't mind. What track do you like to ride at the best?
I think my two favorite track will be Kinlan and Saratoga, and Churchill after that.
All right.
And then, of course, we got Swiss Army Shawn, the man who makes everything happen around here, the producer. What's up, Shawn?
Hey, Julien. Hey, Rich. Julien, I got a question. I like to ask jockeys this. What horse that you have ridden has been your most favorite to ride in your career?
Well, mine, it's easy. It's Stephen for sure. She was something different, very special, and we had a great connection. And so she was like a feel that every time she was running, I couldn't wait to be on her for sure.
Yeah, I figured that would be the answer. That would have been my next question.
Yeah.
But then my other question after that is there a horse out there that you would have loved to ride that you've never got an opportunity to, that you just missed out or something like that?
Well, yeah, there's many of them that I wish I could ride. Obviously here in America, I feel like two filly like Zenyatta or Rachel Alexandra. They were fun to watch, and they put them on the show, so people love them, and it's definitely like horses like that you wish you could ride. Yeah.
I have a quick comment anyway. I got a kick out of your Twitter site today, Julien. I think you probably know why.
It was a fun, yeah. No, it was a fun.
Sorry to hear the news
Twitter
that you got
session.
gelded today. I'm really sorry about that, Julien. Did you know it was coming?
No, I didn't know, but yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I have 2 kids already, so I'm good.
Was your wife okay with the news?
Yeah.
Or was that why the plates were crashing in the background?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about horse racing. I got a quick question for you. I don't know. Maybe this is. Do you ever see the movies The Pink Panthers, Julien?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind. I was going to ask you which one of the Clouseaus was your favorite. Shane Sellers, Peter Sellers, or Steve Martin. For me, 100% it was Peter Sellers. He was a funny guy.
He was. Someone
to bring up that. What's the gelding or the Pink Panther, Sarah? I'm not quite sure which one you were going to go with. Our friend from the Triple Crowns broadcast.
I will guess a gelding.
Yeah.
Probably the gelding for sure. Now I'm always getting smacked around by the guests, so I'm used to it. Don't worry about it, Julien. Just tell me, shut up. All right, so we're here to talk about racing. One thing I noticed at Kentucky Downs this year, it seems to me like compared to meets past, pace is keeping up or is performing a little bit better early speed than it has in the past meets. Do you have any idea why that might be?
Yeah, even if we had some rain the first day of the meet, which the rain was not very, very strong, but I'm just guessing the ground is just very fast, and the rain was not enough to really get it soft. But But I think it's a track where you for early place, you always got an advantage because you kind of save ground in those turns. So yeah, but it's definitely been speed favoring lately. Yeah, but it's also fair because you got a couple horses that came from behind. The first couple of days, like you see a lot of winner come from the outside. I don't know really why, but that's how it happens. But for this weekend, we're gonna be all the way down to the fence, so we'll see what happens. Yeah.
So it's as far as your races on Saturday, you mentioned you got some. Is there a particular amount on Saturday that you're looking at? And you're saying to yourself, this is the horse I really feel like I have the best chance to win on.
But this track is very funny because I go there I think every horse get a chance. Every single one, even if they 30 to 1 shot. It's a track that if you're lucky enough to have a horse that love it, it will run a big race. So even like 6-5 favorite, sometimes they really don't like it. So I don't. It's definitely a track that I don't really pay attention to the odds.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to the odds there either. Much like I on Fridays, I usually do a show with the gentleman who's missing, Tom, where we cover some international horse racing, usually out of Britain or Ireland. And I never handicap with the odds, and I seem like I do better that way because you're just focused on the horse's form and you're not being influenced at all by the odds maker. So, and it just seems like that's the style that kind of wins over there too, because it always seems like there's more prices over there than there is over here. I feel like the U.S. is a little bit more form dominated, which is kind of sad because you want to win big money if you hit, right? So
Kentucky Down is the place to do that for sure.
Well, you have a couple of amounts on Saturday that we're going to talk about. We're going to start in the biggest race of the day, I guess, or one of the biggest races. That's the $1 million Calumet Turf Cup Stakes. That race is 1.5 miles. Of course, they're all on turf. You are riding number 6 here, Bluegrass Parkway. You've been on this horse a couple of times in the last 10 times out. What do you think about Bluegrass Parkway?
He just came back from a win in Ellis Park, sorry. He ran a big race that day. Obviously, it's a big step up. It's a tough race. I mean, it's a very competitive race. So we'll see. I don't think he ever ran on Kentucky Down. So hopefully, he liked the track. And try our best. He's going to come from behind, so hopefully we get pace in front and make a big run at the end.
Any other? When you look at the field, I'm sure as you look at getting ready for the race, which horses do you think you got to beat to get to the winner's circle?
Also like Aklo that already proved that he loved the track, which is a big thing with Kentucky Down. So. He's gonna be the one to beat, I think. And then you get Mike Meeker, the number 4, Tide of the Sea, one over there too. So I think it's a big help when they have run there and win. It's something we gotta look at for sure.
Shawn, how about you? Who do you think is going to win and move on to the Breeders' Cup?
Well, I got number 3, Channel Cat. I didn't see much pace in this race at all. It's either Channel Cat or Tide of the Sea that's going to get the lead. And Channel Cat, when he comes out and he's first or second from the gate, he usually ends up winning. So I like that.
And he won at Kentucky Down too. So that's a good thing.
1 for 1. So yeah. And then I went with number 4, Tide of the Sea for second, and maybe Miracle Round Race. Again, pace makes a race. And Luis Saez, we know what kind of great year he's had, but he's also really good on a front runner like that. And then for third, I went number 1 in Predator. Should get a nice trip from the rail and will be close enough to the pace to make a run at the end. So I have it 3-4-1.
3-4-1. You're not going to go 4 deep, Shawn, with these deep fields and big odds and maybe hit a shot?
If we would, it would be 3-4-1-5. I don't like Argolo paying that short price, but it doesn't probably be there for the exotic, so that would be the 4th horse.
That'd be the 4 sorts. Terry, who's your first horse?
Number 5.
And I know you got 4 anyway. So
Yeah, I do.
You'd add one in there.
So my first is number 5, Arklow. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best turf speed is the fastest among today's starters. He likes Kentucky Downs and the distance, and I know that he has won 5 times at 1.5 miles. He has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days, 7 mounts, 4 wins, a second and a third, and a sharp workout of 48 breezing, 4th best out of 64. And then I like number 9, Gwen County. Ran 3rd in his last race at 1.25 miles, which was a grade 1 race, and just ran out of real estate, I believe. Today, the distance of 1.5 miles is where he won the only start he's had going that distance. He is trained by Michael Maker, and jockey is Tyler Graffione, and that's a good combination. And then I like number 11, Zulu Alpha. He has won a grade 1 and grade 2 race and has won at today's distance 4 times. He's having a good career, finishing 62% of the time in the money and winning 32% of those races. And then I like number 4, Tide of the Sea. Has won 2 out of 4 races at today's distance and has won for 1 at Kentucky Downs. He could get the lead, and if not pressed, he could go all the way. I think what's going to happen is Tide of the Sea and Epic Romance will go to the lead, and then Arco, Glen County, and Zulu Alpha will close from deep in the stretch to try to win the race, but I think Arklow will be successful.
I agree with both of you guys in different ways. I agree with you, Shawn. Channel Cat and Tide of the Sea, these 2 horses can get to the front. But the one thing I worry about is they should be able to control the pace, but sometimes they might go too fast. And if they go too fast, they can definitely smoke each other out, which I don't think is what I'm looking for. But I do think Channel Cat has the best chance. If anyone's going to go wire to wire in that 1.5 mile race, it'll be Channel Cat. I also like Arklow at Kentucky Downs, has raced very well there. And Glen County or Country, Glen Country. Horse Glen Country has the best late pace figures in the field, and I think will be coming really hard at the end. And then for me on my 4th spot, it's a real tough one for me between Julian's horse, Bluegrass Parkway, and Zula Alpha. The Zula Alpha has the back class, but just doesn't look like he's got it so far in 2021. Maybe it's the right distance for the horse to bounce back. I don't know. He's on the board 8 of 11 with 4 wins, 2 seconds in the 3rd at the distance. But I look at Julian's history on Bluegrass Parkway. He's rode him twice in the last 10 times out, 1 last time out. And then the time before that finished 3rd, missing just by a couple of lengths. So I feel like the extra distance might help you compared to that 3rd that you had 2 races back. And I expect, like you mentioned, Julian, your horse is going to be coming like a truck at the end of the race. So the longer the race goes, I think the better off you're going to be. So I'm going to go 3, 5. Well, one quick thing. Well, never mind. 3, 5, 4, 9. And then it's a toss up between the 11 and 6. But since Julian's on the show, 6 wins that coin toss every single time. Race number 10 is the Franklin-Simpson Stakes. Again, Julien has them out here. And you're on number 5, Miss Omelet? Like you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet? Is that how you pronounce that?
Amulet, I guess. Amulet.
Now, you rode this horse in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. What'd you think about that race?
I thought she ran very good that day. We got beat by 2 very good fillies. But, the 2 races this year are not very good. I'm not sure why, but hopefully she come here and, coming from Europe anyway, I think she's going to handle the track just fine. She's actually a pretty quick filly, so I would not be surprised if she put me in a race early on. But yeah, it's a question mark on why she hasn't run better this year yet. But if she show up like she did at Keeneland for Breeders' Cup, I think she has a decent chance. Yeah.
Well, I think when you look at who she ran against, I mean, Starman is no joke over in Europe. That's a really good horse. Dragon Symbol is a really good horse. The Oxted is a very good horse. And then before that, Empress Josephine. I mean, Joan of Arc. These are Yeah, these are
Those
real
are very good
horses in
fillies.
Europe that
Well,
I think that if any one of those 5 were in this race, they would most likely be a prohibitive favorite. So
yeah,
it
they
doesn't
probably
surprise me
even
that she
won.
didn't run that well. I mean, that's some
Yeah.
stiff competition. That's like me, Shawn, Terry, Tom, and Julien trying to play basketball against like the Harlem Globetrotters or something. It's a who's who. So outside of your horse, Julien, who else do you like in this spot?
I really like Bill Mocht, number 7, annexed. I think he's gonna be he's got speed. He's gonna be putting in the race. You know, very comfortable, and hopefully, I think he's gonna have a clean trip. And also, hold on, try to find him. I will actually take the number 2, the Learjet.
Number 2?
I think is for a longer shot. I will take him too. Same thing, being from Europe. He's got some decent form, bike form last year. So I mean, I think if he show up like he was before, he can be out there too.
And like you, he's first time gelded. So what do you think about that first time gelded? From your history with horses being first time gelded, do you find the first race after that, the second race, the third race, which one do you think the horse responds best in after that unfriendly procedure?
Well, usually they calm them down. I don't know that horse. I don't know why they gelded him. You know, but usually maybe just didn't try as much, or hopefully the first time gelding help usually right away, you know.
So that's what I kind of expect too. Shawn, Terry, do you feel like the first time gelding is going to work here too, or do you got your eye on something else?
Well, I don't know. I like number 6, the horse named Next. He's 1-for-1 at Kentucky Downs, and at today's distance, and he ran 6.5 furlongs and now shortens up to 6 furlongs, which will help him. He has won 42% of his career races, and then number 1, Into the Surprise, has won 2 of the last 3 races. The Rail Post is winning at 25% clip, and he has a sharp workout on September 2nd at Kingland, 5 furlongs, 1 minute and change breezing. He was the best out of 11 workouts that day. Then I think number 3, County Final, has run second in his last 2 races, and he has the highest last speed rating. He has a good 4 furlong workout on September 3rd at Saratoga, 42-2, breezing, 7 out of 29. And then I like number 10, Point Me By, has won 2 out of 3 career starts. His last win was a Grade 1 affair, and the trainer wins 17% of the time the next race after bringing back a horse who won his last race. So he has a good workout also of a minute breezing on September 3rd. I think what will happen is Next will go to the bleed, but may be joined by some Sunrise and County Final. Point Me By will close in the stretch and try to pick up the pieces if the front runners run each other into the ground, but I think Next will stay there.
Gonna hold on, huh?
Yeah.
What about you, Shawn?
So this is the opposite of last race. Last race, I didn't see much pace at all. Here, I see at least 3 horses gunning for the lead and maybe a couple more pressuring. Number 1, Into the Sunrise. Number 6, Next. And number 11, Bodenheim are all going to go for the lead. I like number 7, Annex. I like the fact that this horse is cutting back in distance and as a closer and is going to get a fast pace to run at. It's one of my favorite angles, actually, is the cutback in distance for a closer for something like you would think you would want longer, but it's actually going to play good this way. And then after some bad finishes with wide trips and the sloppy main track that he didn't like at all, he's a turf horse. He put together a good second place finish last time, and then the workouts since have been great. So maybe he'll even be closer to the pace. And then I went with number 10, Point Me By, the most likely racehorse in the field, but has some of the best races. Should sit about mid-pack and make a good run. And then you get Luis Saez back after the win in the Grade 1, Bruce D. And then the long shot here is number 8, Tango, who finished behind Point Me By 20-1 morning line is way too high for this horse. Has finished in exact in all 3 turf starts and just finished second behind Point Me By, like I said. And then maybe with the cutback in distance, he'll turn the tables.
So for me, I next to me is an all or nothing horse. So I think you either got to put him on the top or off the ticket altogether, because he either wins or he doesn't show up. So 3 wins in 7 races, or he does not find the board at all. He's won once at Kentucky Downs. It happened to be at the distance, 6.5 furlongs. So he does seem to like the track, like the surface, as Julien mentioned. Having some experience at Kentucky Downs is probably pretty helpful. Terry and I agree way too much. We got to stop doing our shows together in the morning, I guess. So I do like Point Me By. It's only 1.5 lengths from being undefeated in 3 races. And if you look, this distance and surface slightly favors the closers. He's gained ground in every single race. And then, of course, he should be coming hard at the end again. Into the Sunrise, the rail is winning at about 25% at this distance and surface. Julien, why do you think the rail has such an advantage at this 6.5 furlong race?
Have an advantage?
Well, they're winning 25% of the time off the rail at 6.5 furlongs. So it seems to tell me that there's some advantage to getting the break from the inside there.
Well, actually, to be honest, I actually don't like to be on the fence over there, especially at that distance. I think you lose a little bit of ground. I think the best, to me, I like to be around the 5 or 6, where it's you can just break and go straight. Instead of when you have the 1, you gotta ask the horse to get over to a little bit to the right and then go to the turn. So yeah, I would prefer the 5 or 6, to be honest. But if 25% is not bad either, though, I guess.
No, it works for me. 25%. I wish I would hit 25% of my top picks. Well, you do have the 5 horse here, Miss Amulet. As I mentioned, last couple of races look really awful on paper, but when you look at the fields, it's not as bad as you think. So if the horse does respond like it did here at the Breeders' Cup, I think you'll be coming. I think you'll be coming pretty hard at the end of this race too. But you're also, as you mentioned, probably be a little bit more forwardly placed. But in that race here at the Breeders' Cup, did show some good late pace. I also like Into the Sunrise and Country Final as well. Ran the top last race speed figure, and the resume says that the horse should improve in its second start off the bench. I don't know. I'm reading too many things at one time. That leaves us with one last race for the night. That's race number 11, I believe, which is a maiden race for $100,028 or something like that. And you're on number 8 here, Mackenzie's Cat. It's the first time that you've ridden this horse, Julien. From what you see in the past performances, what do you like and what scares you about your ride?
What I like, he liked the turf better than the dirt, so that's a good thing for me. But he run two decent race. He finished third first time. The grass race was better anyway, so it's good. It's not an easy race. You get a couple of horses in there that's look pretty good, but Kenny McPeak likes to. You can never take away from him. He takes chances and he's very lucky with it. So I think we got a good chance with that rail.
I agree with you, Shawn. Who do you like to win this closing show for Saturday afternoon?
So this one, it was very hard to figure out the pace in the maiden race with all these horses raced less than 2 races. I like number 2, Bodge. Had a nice debut where he was out front and weakened to finish 4th, cuts back to 16th and only goes 1 turn instead of 2. And then I went with number 6, Greel. There's
only 1 turn at that track. It seems to me like they're always weaving it in. They're weaving one way, then they're turning another way, then they're going up a hill, then they're going down a hill, and then there's a lot of bumps. There might only be 1 turn, but hell, there's a lot of obstacles.
Yeah. Then I went with number 6, Greel for second. Another horse in here that showed pace on debut that should improve here and gets blinkers, which I think is going to help really well. And then my wild card here is number 7, Tusky Cat, stretching out after a debut at 5.5 furlongs. My concern is the long break, as this race will come 3.5 months after their debut. I'm hoping this horse just got extra training and is ready to go.
No fourth pick, and they made in special weight with 2-year-olds in a deep field. I mean, 3 is kind of a short number there, Shawn.
If I had to go 4, it would be Julian's horse number 8, and then the 5th would be number 10, Seal Beach.
Oh, so now you go from 3. Did you just want to all it now?
Well, those 2 were my next choices that I threw out.
All right. I know Terry would like. I would bet, Julien, that if Terry's doing the pick 4 here, he would all this race at the end. Am I right or am I wrong, Terry?
Yeah, I probably would. It's pretty wide open, to tell you the truth. So, yeah, I probably would.
Easy to pick winners when you go all, Terry.
It is.
You don't get that luxury now. So go ahead and tell us who's going to win.
Well, no, but when you do all in like a pick 4, a lot of times on these maiden races, you're going to pick up a pretty good price, and it'll really help your payoff. But anyway, I like number 6, Grell. Ran 3rd in the first race of his career, and it was a lukewarm favorite. The trainer wins 27% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to the races and can improve with blinkers on today. And he has a good 4 furlong workout August 29th, 3 furlongs at 35.4. And then I like number 8, Mackenzie Nova, which is Julian's horse.
Mackenzie's cat.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Mackenzie's Nova. You're right. I don't know what the heck I wrote down here. Mackenzie's cat.
Okay, ran 3rd in the first 2 races of his career, and he's has a really good trainer-jockey combination. The trainer wins 25% of the time when bringing a horse back for the second time on the grass. And I think the shorter distance is a positive move. And also my granddaughter's name is Mackenzie, so I love that angle also. Mm-hmm. And then I like number 10, Seal Beach, ran 2nd in her last race at 6.5 furlongs and now stretches out to a mile, which appears to me is what he needs. And then he has a good trainer-jockey combination of Michael Maker and Irad Ortiz. And then number 1, Close Knit, ran 3rd in the first race and his career and at today's distance, and he's going to return to the turf. So I think what will happen.
I'm sorry, Terry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think Bio and Grell and Mackenzie Nova will go to the lead. I think Seal Beach will close from deep but not quite get there, and Grizel will hold on to win.
Some Stacy Listic says, "Oh, Dad." Always got fans. Terry always gets all the fans, Julien. I think the entire country is a fan of Terry's. So for me, I like Tuskegee Cat because the horse debuted at Churchill, which was, I think, the best track in terms of which track all these other horses at top tier track. And a lot of them debuted at Ellis Park. Not that makes a difference, but I feel like the better horses tend to debut at the better tracks. And then it's also the most expensive horse in the field. And Wesley Ward stretching the horse out for the first time is a really solid angle. I'm sure if 22-1 Tom were here tonight, he would wholeheartedly agree with that angle. That would probably be his angle right now. I like number 10. Is my second pick, Terry's Seal Beach. Horse has not run on the turf yet, but that debut on a good track was its best race. And I've noticed, and maybe Julien can attest to this, but it seems like to me that horses that run on an off-dirt track, it's a little better indicator of what they might do on turf than when they run on a fast track. Would you say that's been your experience too, or is it something, again, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about?
No, like on a seal track, I think when the horses run on a seal track and the turf, I mean, I guess for the turf horses on the seal track is a little bit easier because it's harder and packed, so they get a hold of it a little bit better than on the fast track. Sometimes they just, as soon as you try to ride them, they just lose their momentum and doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and so finally got something right. And then hopefully Mackenzie's Nova, I got that wrong. This horse, the debut, if you ran back to the debut on your horse here, I think that you have a really good chance to win. The debut was on a turf course, got off to a good start, kind of lost a little bit at the end. But I think second start on turf should be a better race for this horse and most consistent horse across its pace figure. So off to a good start and does have enough late legs, I think, to keep up in the front if indeed he takes to his second start on the turf. And then finally, I like Close Knit as a long shot too, has by far the less the best late pace numbers in the field. So if the closers come in as they tend to do at the distance, then I feel like that horse has the best chance to win. But they're 2-year-olds, folks. So you never know what's going to happen with 2-year-olds. One day they look the best, and the next day they look like they should all be $5,000 claimers at Hawthorne.
And that's why you do all in the Big Four.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. If you're alive in the pick 4, I mean, too bad you can't go all at the end, but certainly I think that wouldn't be a bad idea whatsoever at all. Julien, we 100% appreciate you joining us tonight. I'm sure after a long day and a long drive, you can't wait to get some rest to make that drive back again tomorrow. Tell Julien on Saturday, bon chance. Good luck, I guess that means. I don't know. I don't speak French.
Yes. Bon chance, yes.
Just a good guess, I guess, on my part. Julien, if folks want to follow you and find out your next operation, where can they follow you on Twitter?
Oh, it's easy. It's just my first and last name. So at Julien Leparoux on Twitter. That's it.
All right, that makes it easy enough. And of course, we'll link to Julien's Twitter handle on our at Horse Racing Radar. If you haven't been over there yet, Julien was kind enough to sit down and answer some questions for us in a question and answer. He mentions that I found that he likes soccer. No surprise that the Paris Saint-Germain is his top team. He's really excited that one of the best players in the history of soccer, Lionel Messi, is joining his squad. And he says he likes the Zidane French World Cup title over the Mbappe World Cup title, though I'm sure both were very exciting as well. You'll learn a lot more over there about that. Mm-hmm. Who do you like in the upcoming World Cup? You think France can go back to
France? Yeah, of course. I gotta do that.
Have to.
But outside of France, you got to put your biases aside. Outside of France, who's going to do it?
I mean, the Belgium team have a very good team. Always gotta pay attention to the Brazilian team, but I just go for France.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. I'd like the horse. Yeah. The race number 9 or 10. All righty, folks. As always, thanks for joining us tonight. Shawn, if folks want to follow us, where can they do that?
Facebook and Twitter, Horse Racing Radar.
And if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You see it right down there, and then the bell, so that when we go live, you know. And Terry, if they're following us on Facebook Live right now, what should they do?
They should like us on Facebook, and they should retwitter us on Twitter, and then and they should also subscribe to us.
And if you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. As Terry said, give us a like, because that's how those algorithms work. It will push us up to the front. Again, everybody, thanks for joining us. Julien, it was our pleasure to have you this evening. As I mentioned in the email, expect to have a great Saturday, because most jockeys who come on with us, the day we talk about, they have a great day racing. So we hope to see you in the winner's circle.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to everybody else, good luck at the races, and we hope to see your tickets in the winner's circle. Yeah.